Good morning, hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where and when you're watching this video. It's your girl Cassie from Cassie Classic Kitchen. You're welcome to my little kitchen. And of course, today the video is basically for my non-African friends and those that are not from Afro-Caribbean. So I've been getting these questions on how to make this particular delicacy. So I decided to put up a video. So I'll stop explaining to individuals. So you can just look at the video and you're good to go. So today we'll be making one of our special delicacy, which is plantain. Yeah, plantain. You guessed right if you actually guessed. And I show you the ingredients. So this is plantain. Plantain is from the banana family, and I'll be showing you different ways to make it. I've got my onion, I've got my bell peppers, and I've got my scotch bonnet. You can make do with anything, any bell pepper you have at home or any ingredient you have at home. But this is what I've got, and that's what I'm making do with. And this is a scotch bonnet. Please and please, if you know you're not so good with spice, you cannot tolerate spice, you can skip this part of it. I'm an African, so I make do with it. Then of course my egg for the sauce, and I've got my salt, and this is a special puree which I usually make, and that's what I would always use for it. But if you don't have this, you can go to Aldi or any shop and get something like any tomato passata, any tomato puree you can lay your hands on. That would be fine. And my vegetable oil, of course. And I've got in here for the sauce, I've got curry powder, I've got garlic powder, I've got ginger powder, and half a bouillon cube, which is seasoning cube, and onion, and of course the pans. So I'll be showing you how to make it in two ways. For my friends who do not like eating greasy food, if you have an air fryer at home, that's fine. That's going to do the job without making it greasy for you. So you can also use your air fryer if you've got one at home. So I'll be using this air fryer, and I will be frying it as well to show you the two ways to make it. You can also boil it if you want. And if you do not have an air fryer and you don't like greasy stuff, your oven is here. You can always use your oven to bake it. So let's get started. So first off, I'll start by washing my plantain. Just wash it in the running water. So after washing it, you take off the head and the tail. Just strike a knife through it and take the back off the same way you would do with your banana. Then you can slice it. You can slice it whichever way you want to slice it, but today I'll be slicing it this way. You see? Just strike your knife through. And if you're not okay with slicing it, holding it, you can have your chopping board, put your knife this way and slice it. That's very simple, isn't it? So now we are done slicing it. This is what it looks like. So we're just going to get half a tablespoon of salt, which is optional. You can do without it though, but that's how I like mine. Just a sprinkle on it. Then you toss it around just like I'm doing, just to get the salts covered the rest of the plantains, especially the ones that are down. So go ahead to put on your gas, and of course on the gas. Once it's hot, you can put your vegetable oil in it. So my vegetable oil is in the frying pan. you can just put it there. Once it's hot enough, same way you would do when you want to fry your potato chips, you can start frying. So while this is getting hot, let's dive into the one we'll be making in an air fryer. So in my air fryer, I've got a parchment paper to prevent it from sticking. So I'll just go ahead to lay the plantain this way, and I'll put it in the air fryer. Close the air fryer and put it on air fryer. So I'm air frying in. So I'll be air frying in 150 degree for 15 minutes. Start. So at this point, my oil is quite hot now, so I'll just go ahead to use my tongue to lay it. I'm using the tongue to avoid oil splash on my hand. So we're going to fry this for like 10 minutes and that'll be ready. So while the plantain is getting ready, let's go ahead and prep our onion for the egg sauce. Please, while frying it, after every 1 minute, ensure to turn it around for the other part of it to fry. Same thing with that, the one in the air fryer as well. So once it's golden brown, that's good to go. So this is like 8 minutes and our plantain is ready. So I've got a plate here with the kitchen towel. So the essence of the kitchen towel is to take out the excess oil while it rests. Plantain is actually ready. You can actually eat it this way or pair it with an omelette, a custard. Today we'll be having it with a custard. So after about 5 minutes, this is what the one in the air fryer looks like. It actually takes longer in the air fryer than it will when you're frying it, but for those of you that don't like it greasy, I think it's doable. Something you can do. Just toss it around. Just toss it around. Just to flip it and put it again. So while that is making, let's go ahead to make our omelette. I'll be making an omelette and an egg sauce. So for the egg sauce, I'll be using 2 eggs, and for the omelette, I'll be using 2 eggs. So go ahead to crack your egg to a bowl. So we'll be making the omelette first. Then, and go ahead to preheat your pan. For the omelette, I'll be using coconut oil. You can use a vegetable oil if that's what you want, but that's what I'll be using today. So just put it in the pan, and I'll be putting a little bit of the curry powder, a little bit of the ginger powder, and a little bit of the garlic powder, and I'm taking just this bit to squeeze it into the omelette. Then I'll go ahead to put some onion, not so much, and some quantity of the bay peppers, not so much too, and just a tiny bit of the scotch bonnet pepper, and use your fork to whisk. I know most of you know how to make omelette. This is how I make my omelette anyway. So once the pan is hot enough, and I'll just get it in there. So go ahead, after 2 minutes, and flip it. So I've flipped it for the both sides to be well cooked. So we are done with that. This is my omelette. Now let's go ahead to make the egg sauce. Just get a tablespoon of coconut oil or any vegetable oil of your choice. Allow it to melt. So I'm making a little quantity just for 2 persons, so you can increase the quantity of ingredients if you're making for more. So now the oil is hot, I'll just go ahead and put my onion. And stir it. Allow it to saute for some minutes, for like 30 seconds. So I understand some people don't like onion. If you don't like onion, you can either go ahead and skip it or use onion powder, or you can make do without it. So I'm going to be using 2 spoons of this, 2 tablespoons of my tomato puree. You can use 2 tablespoons of your tomato passata. Stir it. Allow it to simmer for like 30 seconds. After 30 seconds, go ahead to add your veggies as well as your scotch bonnet pepper. It's quite a simple recipe, you know. Then stir it and allow it to rest for like 1 minute. Go ahead to put in your ginger powder, garlic powder and curry powder as well as your bouillon cube, and stir very well nicely to incorporate it properly. Don't worry about this, it's going to melt and get into it. You can add a pinch of salt to taste. When you're done, spread it across this way. And here is my 2 eggs cracked. Just spread it. Allow it to spread. And get a cover of pot and cover it and allow it to cook for 2 minutes on a very low heat. I've got it on 4. Allow it to cook for 2 minutes. So after about 1 minute, you turn it so it doesn't burn. Yeah. After turning it, cover it again for another 1 minute. So while this is getting ready, let's go ahead to make our custard. So just some water. So while our water is boiling, in a plate I'll be adding 3 tablespoons of custard. So I'm using our local custard. You can use any one you can find in the supermarket. I know some Aldi have some, and B&M have some. So to dissolve it, I'll be using 50 ml of water, cold water. Just pour it in and stir properly. Once the water is boiled, go ahead to add the water gradually into the custard till it thickens. So it's thick. You You can now turn it to prevent it from building up lumps. Yeah, go ahead and stir. After making it, this is what it should look like, the custard. And I'll be using this organic coconut sugar as a sweetener for my custard. So I'll be using 2 tablespoons of it. Then go ahead to stir properly. So after about 2 minutes, this is what our egg sauce looks like. So go ahead and dish it. And also our air fried plantain is ready. This is what it looks like. So there's no oil in it, it's not greasy at all. So I'll be pairing the custard with carnation evaporated milk. So just go ahead and put the milk, the quantity you want, and this is it. This is fried plantain. This is the air fried one. This is my custard, and this is the egg sauce. And of course, this is the omelette for those of you who do not like too much grease or too much oil in your food. Once more, thank you very much for watching my videos today, and thank you for your subscription, your viewership. I'm not taking it for granted. Like I would always say, if you know you've not subscribed to my channel, please go ahead to click on the subscription button, and I promise to keep you updated with my videos, my content, and my new recipes. Thank you very much. Stay good and look after yourself and your family. Bye bye.